In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the biggest myths about strippers slash dancers. So everybody has their own opinion about dancers. Some people love going to the strip club and spending their dollars on the girls, and some people don't like strippers at all. I'm a dancer sometimes, so I'm obviously team dancer, and I'm here to knock down these myths about us. I have been on both of the playing fields. I have been the dancer on stage entertaining, and I've also been a customer paying for the entertainment. Here are the big 10 myths about dancers. All strippers sleep with their customers. Every stripper is broke. You have to be completely naked on stage. All strippers do drugs. Strippers have low self-esteem. Every dancer hates their job. All dancers are trying to steal your boyfriend or husband. Strippers make thousands of dollars every night. Every dancer is an escort. And dancers are uneducated. Let's knock down these myths about dancers. All strippers sleep with their customers. That is false. Not all dancers sleep with their customers. There might be a few girls who might be single or want to cheat on their man, and they might sleep with a customer, or they might be attracted to the customer and want to sleep with them. But we also have the dancers who are wives, who have boyfriends who are very loyal to them, or like don't even want to be touched. Some dancers don't even want to be touched on stage, like me. Me personally, I don't like being touched on stage, so I don't wear a garter belt. Like if I'm dancing, I'm moving, and I don't want to stop so you can put $1 in my garter belt. You might put a 20, you might have 100 for me, which I might, stop for the $100, but in general, most of the time, they're probably going to want to put $1 in there, depending on what club you're at. If you're at like a low-end club, they might be just tipping $1 at $1 at a time. And then we have those guys who are making it rain. I would rather them make it rain than for me to stop and open my garter belt for a $1 bill. So, do all strippers sleep with their customers? The answer is no. Next, every stripper is broke. Not every stripper is broke. Stripping or dancing can be really good money depending on what club you work at. And sometimes you might have to switch clubs to make more money. You might not fit in at the club that you're at. The customers might prefer a different type of body shape and all that. So if you're not making at least 100 or more, which is kind of sad, then you should probably try working at a different club. Minimum wage right now in the U.S. is $15 an hour, and that's about $100 a day. You can go work at a minimum wage job if you are not at least making 100 at a strip club. That might not be the job for you. Personally, for me, if I'm working at a strip club, I want to be making at least $300 to $500 on a bad night. On a good night, I would say $700, $1,000 or more. It really just depends on the woman. Like, stripping might not be for you. Like, you can be a pretty girl and not know how to talk. You might not be making money from that because nobody wants to talk to a vegetable. You might not know how to dance. Shake your ass. You just might not have what the people are looking for. So, as far as every stripper is broke, I believe that stripping might not be the job for certain girls. Like, people think they can come in, wear makeup, and then that's it. That is not the case. When you're making good money, like I said, on like $300, $500, $700 a night, and sometimes it might be a bad night and sometimes it might be a good night, you should definitely be putting money aside. Girls pay their rent with money, their car notes, all kind of stuff. So to knock down the myth that every stripper is broke is a no-no. Like, we actually make good money, but there are girls who probably should not be in the club or don't even have initiative to make the money or want to live out the fantasy that they are a dancer but they aren't putting in the work, or this job just is not for them. Not every stripper is broke, but not every stripper is making money. There can be broke strippers and then there can be rich strippers. It really just depends on the girl, their motivation. There are girls who are making lots of money and girls who aren't making a lot of money. And if you have a friend or a girlfriend or a wife who isn't making a lot of money at the strip club, this might not be the job for them. And they're making strippers look bad. So they probably just need to go. Go get you a different job. If you are a broke stripper, like, that doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm going to be at the club shaking my ass, giving lap dances and stuff, I'm not going to be broke. There's no way. Myth number 3, you have to be completely naked on stage. It really depends on the club that you're at. You can go work at clubs where you don't have to be completely naked. You can work at clubs where it's only topless. You can work at clubs where you don't have to take off anything at all. And then there are clubs where you do have to be completely naked. It really depends on the club, the state that you're in. Like, every club has rules. So if you are trying to get into dancing and you don't want to be naked, you just have to find a club that has rules where you don't have to be naked, you don't have to be topless. Like, in the state that I'm in, it's no nudity and it's no topless here. But I have worked in other states where you can be completely naked. So some girls do get uncomfortable feeling like they have to be completely naked and give lap dances and stuff like that. Like, if you're not comfortable with that, then go find a club that fits for you. I have worked at clubs where you don't take off anything. I've worked at clubs where it's topless, and I've worked at clubs where it's full nude, and I have no problem with any of it. I am there to make my money and go home at the end of the night. Myth number 4 is that all dancers do drugs. Not all dancers do drugs, but there are dancers who do drugs, and you can kind of tell by the way that they act. There are dancers who have never touched a drug in their life and come to a strip club and they still don't try drugs. And then there's dancers who have never done drugs in their life and then come into the stripper world and then are introduced, they're influenced, they're new girls and they want to fit in and they start doing drugs. I've taken some party drugs before, I'm not gonna lie to you, but let me give you a little history. When I was in high school, we had to do a project and talk about drugs. The drug that I picked was ecstasy. I had to look up the other drugs too, like the hardcore drugs, the okay, safe drugs like weed, and I knew at that point what drugs I was going to try and not try. I knew I was never going to try shrooms. I was never going to try heroin. I was never going to shoot up or anything like hardcore like that. The reason why I would never try shrooms is because I don't want to have a bad trip. I never tried a shroom before, but I know you can have a good trip or a bad trip, and I just do not want to trip out bad. Like, I'd rather stay away from that. As far as like heroin and shooting up, I know that can be extremely addictive, and some people can't get out of that. So I knew that was something I wasn't going to try. Doing drugs does get old. Like, smoking weed for me got old. Drinking every night got old for me. Then I eventually was like, why am I going out to drink around strangers and people I don't know, because I might black out, and then who's going to take care of me? For me, I was introduced to drugs that I hadn't seen before, and then I tried it. Not gonna lie to you, I tried it, and then I ended up rejecting it. So my friends would bring the drugs around, and I would just be like, I'm not into it. It doesn't make me feel any type of way. So I became dull and numb to stuff. My body became immune to it, and I was just like, it's not doing anything for me. It's just making me feel like weird. So the myth is all dancers do drugs. Not all dancers do drugs. Some girls do. And coming into the stripper world, you may be introduced to things you haven't seen before, and it's really just up to you to say yes or no. Strippers have low self-esteem. False. There are some girls who do have a low self-esteem. Like, you can see, you can tell. And then there's girls who are like me who don't have low self-esteem. I'm going to give you guys 2 examples of clubs that I've been at. So I've been at clubs where every single woman is like, I got this, I'm about to make this money, we're here to make our money, like, what are you talking about? And then I've been at strip clubs where girls will be like in the locker room, sad, crying, talking about their problems at home, and then talking about, oh, you're so pretty, you're gonna make a lot of money tonight, I hope it's not a slow night. Those are the girls I don't like. Like, if you're gonna come to the club, you need to be like, I'm that bitch and I'm here to make money. Don't be like, you're gonna make more money than me, or today was a bad day and stuff like that. Like, you need to bring in that energy where you're like, tonight is the night, good or bad, tonight is the night. Because we're always gonna have a good night or a bad night. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know who's gonna walk in. Those are the kind of dancers I don't like. Like, don't come to the club with all this low self-esteem and bringing the energy down. If you're gonna come to work at the club, you need to be ready to make money. Like, don't talk about somebody else is gonna have a bigger bag than you. They're gonna make more money than you. Wanna know why? Because those are the girls that's gonna make more money than you. You came here to make money. So having low self-esteem, I don't think you should be a stripper. But there are those women who are hired who have low self-esteem. But being a dancer, if you want to make money, you need to come in with a high self-esteem. Like, whatever you have going on, fix it and come back. If you have low self-esteem, you should not be a dancer. But we do have to deal with those type of bitches. We do. I don't even know why they even decided to become dancers. But there are those customers who tend to go for the girls with the low self-esteem. Why? Probably because they want somebody submissive. Guys might think girls with a good self-esteem are more of a dominant, and girls with low self-esteem might be easier to talk to. There are those guys who want to take control of the conversation, who wants a girl who isn't going to talk too much, or, you know, is a little quirky or whatever, who has low self-esteem. There's guys who like that. But for me, I feel like it makes the image of the stripper look bad. And personally, I believe if you have low self-esteem, you should not be a dancer. When all the dancers have good self-esteem, you can feel the energy change. Everybody just wants to have a good night. Everybody wants to make money. Nobody's sad. It's better. It's better energy. It's better for the whole club. You don't want that one girl walking around with low self-esteem, you know, dangling around, and everybody's just like, why is she here? All dancers have low self-esteem. No, we don't. But there are those few who do. Every dancer hates their job. I'm going to put this out there. If you hate your job as a dancer, you probably should not be dancing. If you're a dancer, you should be loving your job. Like, why would you not be like, I'm going to do my hair, I got to do my makeup, I got to put on a sexy, cute outfit and go be sexy and cute and make money. Like, if you hate your job, then there's something not right. I don't know if you're being forced to work or what, but if you are a dancer and you hate dancing, then dancing is not for you. As a female working in a gentleman's club, our job is to make the man feel good. So we have to feel sexy. We have to be sexy. We have to bring it. And if you come in not liking what you do, then how do you expect to be a successful stripper? Like, I don't know how long the dancer who hates their job plans on being in the dancing industry. But I feel like if you are a dancer and you hate your job, you should get the fuck out. Girls will talk shit about you and be like, get that bitch out of here. Like, don't come in and be like, I hate this job. Like, nobody wants to hear that, because we're all here to make money and we all feel beautiful. We all feel sexy. Like, don't come to the club bringing everybody down with that negative energy, talking about you hate your job. Do all dancers hate their job? No, but we do have those straggly few who come in and bring down the energy. That's why they get beat up. I go to the club to make my money, so I do what I need to do. But I have had girls who don't come to the club to make money. They come to the club to do shit. Like, they shouldn't even be there. They don't even work every day. Coming to the club, working once a month, and like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Like, what do you do? Like, this is not even like your real job. There was a time I was sitting at the bar, and this bitch who don't even work every day came in and just yanked me by my hair and dragged me out of my chair at the bar. And I'm like sitting there like, what is this bitch doing here? She definitely don't work every day. And She trying me. She trying me. So you know what I did? I went outside. I told her, let's go. You know, I was like, let's fight. Let's fight, whatever. She didn't want to fight after coming up to me, trying to drag me by my hair and pull my hair off. And I just did this. So what I did is I took the bitch phone and I threw it on the concrete. And now she couldn't use her phone. She had no way of getting home. And she did not make any money because as soon as she got in there, I was her target. The customers weren't even her target. I was her target. Those are the type of bitches who hate their job. Another myth is all dancers are trying to steal your husband or your boyfriend, which is false. Girl, we are trying to take their money. They should not be at the club. They're not trying to spend no money. So if they come to the club, your boyfriend, your husband come to the club, we're going to try to run their pockets. I'm sorry. We're going to get them to go to the ATM. If they're not supposed to be there, then why are they there? We have a job to do. We're entertainers. This is a gentleman's club. We're there to entertain them, whether it's dancing for them with clothes on, topless, or fully nude, or doing a lap dance for them with clothes on, topless, or fully nude. Like, that is what we're there to do, to entertain them. Our job is to sell a fantasy. If they want to hear that we're going home with them and then call me when they get home, then that's what we're going to tell them. We're there to create a fantasy for them. Is the fantasy real? No, that's why it's called a fantasy. But that don't mean that we're trying to take your man. We're dealing with different men coming every minute, every 30 minutes, every hour. Like, what we're doing to your man, we're doing to the other ones too. So if some women feel like we're trying to take their boyfriend or husband, no. But women can be so in love with their man though. And if the woman is a crazy bitch, she needs to make sure her man don't come to the club. She needs to make sure her man not coming to the club if she is a jealous type. Personally, I like couples. I like the girl to be like, yeah, entertain my man. So when we get home, we can do what we do, you know? Majority of the time, I have not really seen other dancers trying to take husbands or boyfriends for themselves. The only time I've seen that is when there's been like a history between the man and the woman. Like if the girl is a stripper and her ex-boyfriend come in and she wants her man back, that kind of stuff. I've never really seen girls trying to actively take customers' boyfriends or husbands. Like, I haven't really seen that. I don't do that. What's yours is yours, you know? Personally, whatever is in their pockets, unless they giving it to me, then I don't care about what they have. I don't care if they have a nice house, a nice car. I don't want that if it's not in my name. And I don't want it. I care about you going to the ATM and go getting that $100 for me. That's what I care about, is that $100 that's coming out from your pockets into mine. And if I'm not getting that, then there's nothing for me. Unless you gonna promise me a house. Unless you about to go put my name on a house and give it to me without having to make payments, then no, I don't want it. Like, a man can come into the club fine as fuck. Man can come into the job with like all the jewelry that they have in the world. They can come into the club with like a Rolls Royce or whatever. I still won't want him because that's not mine. I care about what I'm getting. So I'm not here to take nobody, man or a husband or nothing like that. But there are those girls who have a different psyche that's like different from mine, who are like, oh no, my man has all this and that bitch will want my man. And like, no, I don't work like that. I don't work like that, but I'm not gonna lie to you. There are gonna be those strippers though who will see that and then try to take your man. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't personally do that because that's not mine. I'm trying to get that for me. There are the girls though. There are the girls that will, so you might want to keep your man out the club because there are some sexy bitches. And most of the time, strippers are fun. Strippers are a lot of fun. And a guy might want some fun. That's why they at the club. If your man is the type that will leave you for another bitch, keep him out the club. If your man left his bitch for you, keep him at the club. Keep him at the club. Next myth is strippers make thousands of dollars every night. That is false. There are nights where I have only made $300. There are nights where I only made $500. And then there are nights where I've made $1,500. It really depends on the club and depends on the night, and it depends on the customers too. You can't just show up in the club and be like, tonight I'm making $1,000. No, you might not be the flavor of the week. You might not be what the customers are looking for. It just might be a bad night. Just prepare for the worst. Always prepare for a bad night. That's how I go into the club. Tonight might be a bad night. So every time I have a good night, I make sure that I'm grateful for the good night and I'm putting money away. There are going to be bad nights. You might have a slow week. And then that one good night. You might have a good night every night and then that one bad night. But you can't let that turn you down. But it's not true that all dancers make thousands of dollars every night. It might accumulate, like 2 days, you might make $300. The next day you might make $700. There's your $1,000. But it took you 2 days to make that. It might take you 3 days to make $1,000. It might take one night to make $1,000. But not every night is going to be a $1,000 night. It just is not going to happen. I'm not going to knock down the fact that some girls do make $1,000, at least $1,000 a night or more. Depends on the club, depends on the girl, and depends on what she does. Because some girls might be doing a little extra for that. But I'm not saying that every girl is doing extra for making that mark of $1,000 a night. But you do have to be aware that you're not going to make $1,000 every single night. I've had $1,000 nights, $2,000 nights. But for me, that was like rare. I would always get between the 500 and the 700. But adding those 2 days together, that's 1,000. And I don't think that's bad at all compared to like a normal job. Not all dancers are making thousands and thousands and $1,000 a night. No. Every dancer is an escort. False. False, 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 false. Not every dancer is an escort. But some dancers do escort. And if they do, that's their business. I feel like before doing amateur porn or even professional porn became like a big thing, because let's not lie, it has become a bigger industry over the past like 10 years. Talking about escorting was something that people were disgusted by, but now that people are putting out content where technically they are escorting because you are getting paid to fuck, I feel like it wasn't a thing to talk about back then. But technically, I feel like if you are fucking on camera for money, you are escorting. But not every dancer escorts. Have I escorted before? I have done it. When I first started getting into dancing, when I was 21, and I got hired at my first 21 and up club where you can drink and you're naked, I did escort a few times. But I had rules. Though. I had to be attracted to the guy, and they had to have enough money. Not every dancer is an escort, but I have done it a few times. Not as a full-time job. I did it for fun. The guy was cute and he wanted to give me money. That's kind of like a boyfriend, right? A one-night stand boyfriend. Guys are doing that right now. They're just not putting a title on it. They might be like, I don't have time for no girlfriend. I don't want a bitch at my house all the time. I'm about to go find me a bad bitch. Give her some money so she can go get her nails done and go buy some food or something. Fuck her and then that's it. Guys do that. If a guy is paying for your car, if they're paying for your rent and you're sleeping with them, you are escort. If you are living in a man's house for free and you're not paying anything and they're paying for all your stuff, you are escort. You are a fucking escort. Guarantee you stop giving that man some pussy, you're fucking out of there. You're the fuck out of there. This is a tricky topic to talk about, and we might have to make a podcast where we talk about escorting. Are all dancers escorts? No, but there are some girls who do it. Do it full time, do it for fun, do it for the heck of it, or do it because it's not your fucking business. Guys have no problem paying for it. There are some guys who have no problem at all being like, I'm going to give her some money and fuck her, and then I'm going to do it a few times because I need to get it off. I need to get off, but I'm not trying to deal with a full-time bitch. And it might work for the both of them. But do all dancers escort? No. So some guys might come to the club looking for a fine, sexy woman and can't pay for her time. But there might be a woman that he can't pay for her time. So Are all dancers escorts? No. But there are some who do. Let's just keep it real. Guys do ask me all the time. Guys ask me all the time, can they pay for it? Can I fly you out here? Pay for it, pay for all your stuff, all of that. Right now, I have not gotten flown out by anybody. I have not accepted the offer to get flown out, to have all my expenses paid for or anything. And right now, I'm currently not allowing guys to give me money and having sex. Pretty much, when I think of escorting, I just feel like it's a guy who doesn't want to deal with a full-time woman. They don't want to deal with it full-time. Because that's a lot. And then some girls go crazy. Especially if the man can afford to give a girl, like, a good amount of money. You don't know where these women are coming from. Like, a guy might buy a girl a Louis Vuitton bag and she never even had $1,000 in her account. That bitch is going to go mad if he leave her. A guy might be like, I just want me a sexy girl I can call. She come over. We fuck. I give her some money so she can go do something nice for herself. And I don't have to deal with none of the bullshit. Okay? I feel like we need to talk about escorting in another video and not make it a dirty word. I feel like this needs to be uplifted. But we are going to talk about that in another video, in a whole nother podcast. And the last myth is dancers are uneducated. That's false, but we do have the girls who are uneducated. You can tell when you talk to them. You can tell who is going to be your dumb blonde, who hasn't gone to school, who hasn't finished school, who hasn't finished the 8th grade. We do have girls who are uneducated, but then we have girls who are educated, who may have been to college, who may have gotten their degree and decided to work at the strip club because it's more money. It's more money. It's fun. Like, they would be making more money at the club than they would in their career field after earning their degree. But don't come to the club thinking that everybody is stupid and dumb, because some girls do have their degree. Some girls just decided that this was where they wanted to be at that point of time. They might have gotten their doctorates, their masters, their bachelors, their associates, and decided, I'm not ready to do that right now. Dancing can be a lot of fun. I believe that you should work at a club that you're having fun at. And I can see an educated woman not ready to be sitting behind a desk and wanting to party all day and all night for a little while until they're ready to sit down and take that back seat. And that was our biggest myths about dancers/strippers. Come back next week to find out what my fans actually pay for.